So before we get started, we're here to do some begging.
We're here to beg like 1980s and 1990 R&B stars. Like who? Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat. Yeah. Remember when we saw them in concert?
It was like the apex of niggas in linen pants, those little A tank tops, and Stacey Adams.
It's true. But it was a damn good show. And we were like, were we in our 20s when we went to that show?
Yeah. And now.
We're very young.
Now I wouldn't be mad at a fine gentleman in some nice pants.
And I can still appreciate the begging of Keith Sweat. But
like he says, he begs to your woman so you don't have to.
Exactly. But today we actually do have to beg.
We're doing our own begging, right?
Yeah. And you don't have to break out your linen. But what we do want is for y'all to tell us what you think about the show.
Yeah. So it sounds like work. I promise it does. But it's painless. All you're going to do is head to theturnonpodcast.com/survey and answer a few questions. It will help us give you more of what you love.
Yes, help us help you.
Yeah. Do we have on the survey, is one of the questions, do you guys enjoy Erica singing?
That is not one of the questions on the survey.
I feel like it should be. I feel like it should be, but whatever.
Just, if y'all give us a few minutes of your time, you can help us give you more of the show that you love. And all you got to do is head to theturnonpodcast.com/survey. Yes, please and thank you.
Okay, so let's start the show.
All right.
Come here. Get off.
Hey, good people, welcome back. Today we are talking to Stefanie Brown James, pronouns she and her. Stefanie is the co-founder and senior advisor of The Collective, a network of 5 affiliated organizations, including the Collective PAC, that are dedicated to supporting and funding Black candidates to help them win elections on the local, state, and federal levels, and to the expansion of engagement of Black voters in the political process. A native of Cleveland, Ohio, Stefanie previously worked as the Vice President of Training and Community Engagement at Emily's List. She was National African American Vote Director for the 2012 Obama for America campaign, and she was the National Field Director for the NAACP. Stefanie is married to her business partner, Quentin James, and is the mother of 2 amazing little boys. Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all. What's up?
Thanks for coming.
Kenrya's
voice
is next level. Next level voice.
Butter silk. Yeah.
Like the definition of smooth operator.
She's a smooth
operator. That's how this podcast is about to go. We already see.
We already see it. Okay, so first, Stefanie, thank you. Listeners, little do you know, Stefanie and Killa were like little besties running the mean streets of Cleveland together.
Yeah.
And then I joined along because of a Tae Bo tape. Stefanie was there, a part of the Tae Bo tape experience.
Yes.
Yeah,
we've told that story on this show, but we couldn't say who it was because we ain't had your consent. But now we can.
Hey, Tae Bo.
And we still here. Okay, so what did little Stefanie want to be when she grew up?
Little Stefanie knew she was about to be an actress, honey. I took theater classes.
Makes total sense.
I know, my theatrics. Yes, as my sister says, the dramatics follows me. And, that training I had at Caramel House, which I must say is the oldest Black theater in the country, really helped.
Caramel.
Yes. Kenrya knows all about. Listen, Caramel House is like a legend. And so I took acting lessons for a long time. I did a few plays. Then I realized I can't remember my lines. and maybe this isn't actually what I've been gifted to do. And I've moved on, but that's what I always wanted to be, honey. Yeah.
I can totally see you on stage like,
literally.
My line.
My mom is in the audience like, and she said, she's mouthing it to me, and I'm like, and she said.
Also, shout out to your mama who we love and adore. Mm-hmm. She's like,
hey, we need to get her on the podcast. I'm sure she got some jewels she would drop. Some old schools. You know what? She's 52 years married.
That's insane. Mm-hmm. I actually have something in mind for her. So, okay. Sorry. Let's keep going.
So, how did you get from wanting to be an actress and not being able to remember your lines to what you do now?
Mm-hmm. So I, as a teenager, actually Kenrya and I were involved in the Cleveland NAACP Youth Council and just really got involved in youth activism work and going around the country to different conferences and meeting other young people that were really dedicated to Black issues and Black history and just figuring out how we can be involved in like modern day civil rights. And that kind of upbringing through the NAACP led me to Howard, where we met Erica, and yay, and just really instilled in me that I wanted to do everything I could to push for Black progress and eradicate white supremacy in this country. And so that is what my lifelong work is. That's what my mission and passion is, and it has led me to do what I do now with the collective and the work that I did as a national staff NAACP member. And so yeah, that's where I am now.
So what's the most challenging thing about what you do?
Ooh, wait. You know what? Right now, the most challenging thing is, so the collective is 5 affiliated organizations. What we're most known by is the Collective PAC, which we turn 5 pretty soon. We're going to have a nice little anniversary party in DC. Y'all will hear about it.
And I feel like you just sat down and told us about it. Right.
Listen, I'm like, time is moving. And so one big challenge that we're having is we have these 5 organizations. We have, I think we're up to 21 staff members who live everywhere in this country. Most of them, we have never met in person because they were hired during the pandemic. So that has been really interesting to both go from one organization to now 5 to 2 people to now 21. We're, $25 million operation. Like, what is that about? What you supposed to do with that? You know what I mean? So it has just been a lot of learning curves along the way in the midst of a pandemic, especially. But we have a really great team of people. So we're learning and overcoming the challenges. But that's something that we kind of face every day.
What's your favorite thing about what you do?
My favorite thing really is supporting Black candidates. And there are so many phenomenal Black people across this country that are actually dedicating themselves to being an open book in public. And that is difficult. Like, when you are a politician, the good ones, let me say that, the good ones, they're just trying to serve their communities, make their communities better. But your whole life is now an open book, and everything you say or do is scrutinized. But these folks are still putting themselves out there. And so many of them are working towards making the lives of Black people better. So like right now, we're supporting 2 Black women that are running for the U.S. Senate, Sherry Beasley in North Carolina, Val Demings, our Sarah from Florida, because we have no Black women in the U.S. Senate. And so being able to help women like that with their campaigns and, really work for them to win is the best part of my job.
Word. So we want to take it back a little bit and ask you, what was the prevailing attitude about sex in your home growing up?
There was none. I don't know if there was sex going on, but we didn't talk about it.
They've been together for 2 years. So,
right.
Yes.
At least they happened at least 2 times.
At least 2 times. Me and Marcy, my older sister, we here. So 2 times they had amazing sex to get us here. I will say, however, that when I was this was after a lesson at Karamu. I think I may have been 8 or 9 years old. My mother's going to be mortified. But after every lesson, we would go to McDonald's, and which was a treat. Okay. The McDonald's had a little thing in the inside, the playground in the inside. We would go there. And one day I said, Mom, I know what you and Dad are talking about when you say, hey, you ready to go to work tonight? Yeah, I'm ready to get plumbing or whatever. It was just, they were talking cold. And I remember being in the car like, no plumbing tonight. No, don't bake the cake. No, don't have the dough rise. Like, it just be like, yo. And one day I just had to break down, Mom, I can't take it anymore. Please stop talking about the dough rising. Like, I know what you're talking about. And she was mortified. So that's the extent of combos in our house about. I'm glad I brought my wine.
But I feel like she's more open about it now, as like a mom. Now that you're a mom and a wife.
Yeah, now she's like, because I'm always like, Mom, you're so amazing. Like, it looked so easy. And she's like, baby, like, it wasn't nothing easy. But now that you're a mom and you're a wife, let me tell you the real deal. So between her and my sister Marcy is 10 years older. So she's almost like another mother to me. So we've been able just to have like really honest conversations about, you know, how you keep it sexy. She's like, I think 25 years into her marriage. So yeah. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I remember when she was still in undergrad. So.
Exactly.
What's wild is to think that 25 years ago was only like 96. Because to me, 25 years ago was like 75, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding us that we're old.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Auntie Erica. We're the aunties. We're the aunties now.
Yes.
We are, but that doesn't mean we're not fabulous.
Touche.
Look at y'all.
Touche. Right. Cheers to that. I should have poured more wine in here. But anyways.
Yeah, I should have had some wine. But all right.
I'm wondering how, you know, so it sounds like y'all went from acting like sex didn't exist to now y'all have gotten to a point where you are comfortable and can have those conversations. But how do you think the way that you grew up and the non-conversations about sex impacts the way that you move through the world now?
I think it made me very curious it made me feel like it wasn't something that you just did. I don't know, like I had a boyfriend in college, maybe some friends in college too, post-college, but and it always kind of felt like, oh, this naughty. But it wasn't like you're supposed to explore yourself and learn and meet people and all this kind of stuff. And then post-college, it just kind of felt like I'm about to go all in. Like, I'm about to figure out, like, who am I sexually? Like, what is it all about? So now it just feels like I'm settled in it. I'm settled in being this grown woman that's married, that has a healthy, not as healthy as my husband, but like sex life. It almost feels like my thought about sex has grown up with me, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I was kind of where a lot of people are along the way. And it's like, I've matured and now my sex life has matured. So that's kind of how I feel now.
Where?
Okay. So we asked you to come on this show because last week we read this story called Being Hospitable. And it features this woman.
That's a good title.
Homeboys.
Right?
Well, so it features this woman who lets her homeboy's little sister stay with her. And then they end up hooking up and things happen. So we happen to know that you met your husband through similar circumstances. So
I was being hospitable.
Being hospitable.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Opening up the doors to your home.
Opened up everything. Okay, sorry, continue.
So just tell us your story. How did it happen?
Ooh, I should have. Okay, let's see here. So what's
Not you fanning yourself.
Oh God. So it's funny because my husband Quentin and I, we're 7 years apart, first of all. And so when we first met, we met through NAACP at a youth conference, because at the time, I was the youth and college division director for NAACP. I go to this conference, meet this young man, and he's like, hey, I'm Quentin, I'm a senior. Now I'm thinking he's a senior in college, which to me, I'm like, okay, senior in college. You're like, what, 20? I'm 25. Like, I didn't actually look at him like holler or anything, but just like, oh, okay, he seemed cool. Y'all, he was a senior in high school. So then I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. So long story short, he became like years ago, about a couple years, he became my little brother over time. And then one summer, the summer of 2008, he was going to be my intern at the NAACP because he had been a youth leader and he was going to be my intern for the summer. Well, he didn't have housing for his internship. We were in Baltimore. He's from South Carolina. So I was being hospitable. And I said, well, why don't you stay with me for the summer, because my little cousin is also an intern and she's going to stay with me too. And I could hook them up is what I thought. Lo and behold, I done hooked myself up with him. And so we had a fun summer, and I was his boss, so that was another element to it. And now we're married with 2 kids.
So, happily ever after. Yeah. Looking back, is there anything you do differently?
Yeah, I wouldn't also try to hook him up with my line sister. She will remain nameless because, again, she didn't give consent. But one night, I tried to hook him up with a line sister, and I look at y'all, and we're at her apartment.
You have to tell us after.
You're going to tell us as soon as we hang up.
So we went out one night, because, at that point, we all cool with Quentin. So we go out one night, and are you writing a note to yourself?
She is on her hand.
And
I'll forget about it and be editing this episode and then have to call you in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
so
touche.
We'll get it over as soon as we stop recording.
We're out, meals, drinks, everything. I'm like, I'm trying to literally hook them up. We go back to her apartment because we lived in Baltimore. We were in DC, and we were all too done to drive. Me and Quentin were too done to drive back to Baltimore. So we stayed in her apartment. Well, I was sleeping on the floor and Quentin was sleeping in the bed with her. So as I was sleeping on the cold floor and they're in that bed, I realized, wait a minute, I should be in the bed with him. Now, they weren't doing anything, of course, because, well, you never know. They could have been, but I was sleeping right there on the floor. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I have feelings for him. And I should not have tried to hook him up with my girl because, yeah, I wanted to be with him. So here we are. And she's happily married. A wonderful man.
Yes. That is definitely a thing to have done differently.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This like became a whole like alternate reality. Like, what if? And then it's the whole, but okay. So.
Wow.
That reality would not have worked out.
At all.
Yeah.
So in the book that we read, the main character was concerned about starting a relationship for a couple of reasons. One of them was that it was her homeboy's little sister, but the other was that the chick was much younger. The thing is that we know that you have always liked to be on the younger side.
You tend to date younger men. Let's say that. You tend to date men.
I'm thinking back to when we were in jazz band and we went back to the
Lil Austin. Lil Austin.
Hey, can we statute of limitations?
Austin was cute. I know exactly who you talking about.
She always liked him young. Austin was cute.
And he was only a year younger than us.
I'm wondering.
Sorry.
That's true. But you, okay, we'll leave it there. But the question is, what is it that you love about younger men?
Now we're then. Okay, let's see.
Both.
As my husband is now 30, 33 years old. Isn't that something? To have known him from 18 years old. So it's been interesting growing with somebody, but I'm a playful person. You know, I like to have a good time. And I don't know, I just think they cute. I mean, that's probably not now. Now I don't really like younger guys now, but at the time, I just like to have fun and not have like, you know, there's some people who like older men. That's not my thing. That's not my jam. I just, no, because I just feel like that's just too, no. And I'm real close to my dad, so I don't know if I feel like my dad is looking over my shoulder like, hey, that's my homeboy. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways.
I'm not a fan.
That was not a good answer, but that's what came top of mind.
No. Well, I feel it's
Who? Nobody said your name?
I think that's a great answer. It is well documented on the show. I like them old.
It's true.
Touche.
They know. And there's nothing wrong with either way. You know, we don't yuck yums. You know, I always say like the thing that made me lower my age on a dating app, which is how I ended up connecting with my partner, is you. Like you and like 2 or 3 of our other friends found love with younger men. And I was like, well, shit, they happy.
That is true.
Let me try.
That is true. I feel like my whole crew, that's true.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I've lowered my age on the dating app, and every time I get like a 36-year-old, I'm just like,
does that seem young to you, 36?
I'd eat you alive. Oh my God. 36 seems like a baby.
My husband ain't even 36.
Wow.
But also, let's be real. Your husband and our other friend that's married to a young guy, y'all have old men.
They got old souls. They got old souls.
They're mature. Yeah.
They have old souls. That's the best way to put it. Because they're very like young and youthful, but they have old souls. They like were comfortable, you know, settling down and getting married and starting a family and starting.
However, I will say,
but I see, I mean,
just now though, has the age started to feel like a thing. Before it has not. When I turned 40, he turned 33. It felt like, oh, we in 2 different generations, bruh. Like it has now started to. I've started to now realize after almost 10 years of marriage, oh, we are really we have a big age gap. Cause he be wearing like these little chains and the music, and I just be like, oh, too loud, too loud. Ooh, I'm sleepy. And so back to the sex, you know, he's like, oh, it's time to have sex. I'm like, ooh, when, where? God didn't put these babies down. You got to be kidding me. So I'm trying to work on it, ladies, because I hear y'all in my head, like, and just to that point, y'all are such inspirations to me. Like, you know, my line sisters are out here getting it in every night. I could do that.
Girl, ain't nothing happening every day.
Every week.
So every week. Also, let's be clear.
Yes.
I like old men because it is more about quality than quantity. Old man, we just do one good time, and it's like we land in bed like, whew, you know, like it's not a back to back. It's not a, you know. So yeah,
that's real.
I use that age to my advantage,
and that's real. And for me, this is the most fun relationship I've ever had. So like when you were saying like that wanting to have fun, that really resonates with me because it's true. I ain't never had somebody who was just fun as hell all the time.
That's good.
And maybe there's some youth there. But he also likes to remind me that I'm older than him. Like, I'll be like, you don't know that song from the 80s? And he'd be like, no, nigga, I wasn't doing that. I'm like, fuck you.
Wait, how old is he?
He's 36. He be acting like we way, way far apart. I'm like, it's 4 years.
But
relax.
The thing is, see, here's the problem is when you be like, okay, when you were a freshman, I was a senior. Now, see, when you say stuff like that,
And that's
because he'll say, my husband will be like, man, I was in the 8th grade. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was graduating from high school. That's disgusting.
right.
Anyways.
And that's the thing that pops up for us because I'll say, we'll be listening to some song and I'll be like, yeah, this came out my senior year. And he'd be like, I was in middle school.
Ooh,
Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
There's that.
There's that. Yeah. So another thing that came up with the book, and this isn't your life, but as I was saying earlier, like part of the reason that she was hesitant to move forward is because it was her homeboy's little sister. I'm wondering, if Quentin was your friend's sibling, how might you have handled the situation differently? If at all.
Is this a close friend?
Maybe you would still be like, fuck it.
Or an acquaintance?
Yep.
Close friend?
It's a close friend. Somebody that's close enough to be like, my little brother is gonna be in town.
I wouldn't have gone there
for an internship, and he need to stay.
To me, that's off.
Because she was in town for an internship.
Nope.
No.
I would look at them like that's my little sister. That's my little brother. I couldn't go there.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of, sorry,
So how do you
can I say something real fast?
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to throw you out there, but you about to say what I'm thinking.
I don't know if this is what you're thinking, but
it's hard when you know all of somebody's business. This is
oh man. Actually, I think we have a couple of close friends who's okay. All right. So there's the one that you're thinking of. Like, the other one I'm thinking of, who has a new show on TV. I was looking at him like,
girl, baby.
Oh, I've been watching. It's
I've
so
been
good.
watching too. Me and my mom.
Girl, I actually, I've got
my mom called
He's
me
like
like,
a grown man. I was like, you were a baby.
He has grown up. So in that situation, to have, and I think if I was single and I met him now, the brother may have to go on a date. I mean, this is different. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Yes. And not the same as him being in your care.
There you go. That's what it is. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I do. We do have a few friends who have brothers, and I'm like, only out of respect for you will I not. And you know what? Not even out of respect for you. It's because we're so close.
Ooh,
I know your brothers, and so
that's what it is.
I don't want to
That's what it is.
I don't want to mess it up with your mother. Because you're my homegirl. You know me. Like, we're going to act a fool. But, like,
your mama. That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
So, Okay, so speaking of that, how do you feel about the way older women are portrayed? Like, the older women, younger man relationships?
I wish it was more common and just in a regular way. Like, not in a, koga.
You're a cougar.
It's just
it was a whole ass show about that shit.
No, I'm just a woman with a man or another woman, or like I'm doing me. Like I think it's overblown. And in the way that it's more embraced with older men, younger women. I wish it was the same. But I think that I do think it's becoming more normalized, but I would like to also see that storyline explored in more detail in the media. That would be a good show, actually.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
It would, especially with Black people. So what are you reading right now?
So I know that I should be reading books, but I am really into magazines.
You read whatever.
I love magazines. Because I feel like right now I am loving Vanity Fair because they are tackling a lot of political stories that you would normally see in mainstream media outlets. I love Success Magazine. I've always said that's like my number one go-to. And I love Gossip still, or YBF. I love a good gossip site. So That's what I'm reading.
Where?
Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, my brother just showed up. He's crawling on the floor.
To stay out of the shot.
That's dedication.
As to not be in the shot. So,
Thanks,
Little
brother.
Okay. So what's turning you on?
What's turning
today,
me
Steph?
on? This hair. Do you see this? I got my hair done today.
Yes.
And I have decided
It is
that I'm going to get my hair done every week because it makes me feel beautiful and sexy. So I am turning me on. That's what's my new renewed confidence and love for myself and just how I am and who I am striving to be. That is really turning me on.
Ooh, yes, 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love it. Okay. So, I love to make up some games. So, we are going to play this game that I made up called Overstayed, It's Welcome. Since we're
I love it already.
So, I'm gonna throw out a category, and you're going to tell me what you believe overstayed, it's welcome in this category.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, first category, person.
Oh.
Wait, a person who overstayed their welcome?
Just in the world, in your life, wherever.
The Kardashians. I don't know. That came top of mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what we need. Okay, Kenrya, what about you?
Oh. Republicans in general?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck them.
Okay.
Wait, you, E?
White man.
Yes.
Okay. Men's clothing trend.
That I don't like is them little pants. Them little short culottes that LeBron James and
Where they got the
can't
ankles
do
and the
it. I
socks
can't
and
do
stuff.
it.
Yeah. Okay, Kenrya, what about
the
you?
same. I was going to say sagging pants in general, but it's like worse when they're
that
really
too.
little. Because I'm like, that don't even look like it could come up over your little booty. Like I don't like it. And I am like an ass and thigh woman. Like I like some nice muscular whatever, but it's never that.
Nice.
You never see that. You know what I'm saying? It's always a little pipe cleaner situation. No, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. For me, men's trend that overstayed its welcome. I have to say those shirts that they used to wear in the 2000s with the glitter and stuff on them and all.
Do people still wear those?
Extra shit. No, but when they were wearing it, that shit should have been gone. Like it overstayed its welcome. And
Just by
as
existing.
people that have connections to Baltimore, I know y'all saw that shit all the time on the streets of Baltimore. Like it was.
There
just
were times when I saw them in my own home.
Too, yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yep. Same.
Yeah.
Yep. Same. Okay. Women's clothing trend.
Oh, I shouldn't say this. Please.
I'll go first. Little ass eyebrows.
Yeah,
Thin ass eyebrows.
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so happy
That's
my
a wrap.
eyebrows survived
I think
that.
that's a wrap. Okay, Kenrya. No, you go.
What we gonna
Kenrya,
say,
you go
Stefanie?
ahead.
I don't know. I guess I'm old. Any kind of shoes that I can't fucking really walk in. Like
Yes. Yes.
I'm over
Agreed.
it. It's not something I'm ever interested in doing. And I bought myself, it's funny, I was redoing my intention board for the new moon. And one of the things I wrote last year was like, buy the shoes. And there were these shoes that I had been like lusting after. And when I treated myself.
Now them shits are as like useful as a fucking door stop.
I have worn them 3 times. I had to be helped up some stairs the last time I wore them. I was like, I will never wear these shoes. They are gorgeous. They are sex on the shoe.
Oh, take a picture and send it. I want to see it.
And I will wear them for a picture. Yes.
They are made
for standing
now
and
they're
being
made
beautiful.
to stay in the air.
Yes.
No, to
even
go in
better.
there.
But I can't walk in them shits no more. And every time I see somebody walk in the shoes, I'm like, oh, that's so nice for you.
Yeah.
But also, why are you doing that to yourself?
Yeah. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I want to see a picture of those shoes, though.
But I love that people can do it and are fine. I'll send you one. As a matter of fact, I got one.
Wait, I didn't get mine. Real fast.
What about you, Stephanie?
Bad weave / wigs. I'm just over it. Just if it start here and this ain't blending into here, I can't. I can't. You're not.
Here's the thing. To me, it's unfortunate because it's like, I'm positive that whatever is growing out of your head, if you were comfortable with that, it's probably a lot better than this.
You see, look, beautiful head wraps. Head wraps are gorgeous. Girl, just throw a head wrap on. Wear it high. Weave that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I mean, I don't like it when it's bad. Like, we were watching House Hunters the other day, and it looked like she had just went like this.
That's what I'm saying. It's
somebody
take no
drove by
effort.
with a
Like,
steak.
you just, yeah.
Yeah, I be feeling bad. Like, oh, that's not good. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying.
What your day is like today. Yeah.
Okay, last one. Word. What word overstayed is welcome?
Dab.
Woke.
Oh, God.
A word and an action. Overstayed is welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say anything that white people picked up because they just grew and shit. But also yeet, which I had to ban from these children. These two children in this fucking house, every time I would walk them.
What is the word?
What is it?
I had to yeet.
What does that mean?
Yes.
So
it's an exclamation. You can say I yeeted it over there. You threw something at somebody, like yeet. These children in this house like to use it.
It has a million.
And I had to ban them from using it when they are around me because I am not interested in hearing that shit ever again.
Yeet. I have never heard it before.
Yeet. Good.
Wait till your boys get on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm like, once they get it's not great.
What's a sheet? What is that?
I do that. I don't know. It's something about some guy, and he was like, I got ice in my veins because I'm so cold. I'm good at this. He's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Someone is probably cringing at my explanation.
Oh, like how your son keeps saying, I'm made different. I'm built different. What the fuck he kept saying the other day? Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's his thing.
All of it. I don't like any of it, but overall, anything that white people have decided that they want to pick up and run into the fucking ground, which is a category that woke falls into.
That's number one. That's true. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I could say something else related to that, but that would not be
to the point
good.
where it doesn't have any meaning. Oh, boy. Okay.
When we hang up. Okay,
say it.
Go ahead, Erica. Go ahead.
No, all she was going to say is, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Hopefully, writing a TV show. Nah, I don't know. What's next for me? What's next for me is I'm really excited to, listen. We need to elect 2 Black women to the Senate. I know we're going to do it. We have at least 5 black people total that's going to be running for the U.S. Senate that can actually win. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to celebrate the collective's 5-year anniversary. And I'm excited to have both of my children in school. Praise the Lord. Have them out the house. And most off, you know what? I am excited to explore more of who I am as this 40-year-old woman that is embracing all of me, because I have neglected myself since my almost 6-year-old came on the scene. So it is Stefanie time. So I am most excited about really like enveloping who I am as this grown woman and doing me. That's what I'm excited about.
Yes.
And hopefully going on trips with y'all. So we just got to go somewhere.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I know. Yeah. Well, y'all can be jealous, but if y'all would like to see us on these trips, you can follow Stefanie on both Twitter and IG. She's at Steph Brown James, which is StefBrownJames. Or you can go to collectivepack.org to find out more about her work and to support her work, because it is up to all of us to help put Black candidates into power. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Anytime. This was super fun. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Yay.
Thank you.
And that is it for this week's episode of the show. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll be back next week. Take care. This episode was produced by us, Kenrya and Erica, and edited by Ballistic. The theme music is from Brazy. Hit subscribe right now in your favorite podcast app and at youtube.com/The Turn On Podcast so you'll never miss an episode.
Then follow us on Twitter at The Turn On Pod and Instagram at The Turn On Podcast. And you can find links to books, transcripts, guest info, what's turning us on, and other fun stuff at theturnonpodcast.com.
And don't forget to email us at theturnonpodcast@gmail.com with your book recommendations and your pressing sex and related questions.
And you can support the show by leaving us a 5-star review, buying some merch, or becoming a patron of the show. Just head to theturnonpodcast.com to make that happen.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon. Holla.